Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Iman and welcome back to another YouTube video. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so you can be notified whenever I make new uploads or posts. But girl, the real reason why you're here is for the Hooter tea. Personally, I've been working for Hooters of America for 8 years, you guys. I would like to consider myself more like an OG. So basically in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my personal experiences working for Hooters of America. I was hired back in 2012 and here we are sitting in 2020. So girl, I've been sitting in that same seat that you are in. So I'm just here to provide you guys with the most helpful, up-to-date information that I possibly can because girl, I know how it is. I personally remember when I was thinking about applying at Hooters and the first thing I did was run straight to YouTube and like look up videos. So basically the rundown of this video is going to be how to get hired, what to expect when you're hired, the pros, the cons, the benefits, the rules, and what I'm pretty sure 90% of you guys are here for is the pay, okay? So if this video sounds interesting or beneficial to you, girl, go ahead, stay tuned, and let's jump into it. You guys, so the hiring process, a few things have changed since I initially put in my application. Like back then you would just go in, walk in, and you would apply in store, but now they have where you just apply online on the computer, and you're also going to include a picture of yourself. Girl, make sure it's a nice presentable picture. Hooters is a restaurant, not a strip club. You would be surprised, okay? So after you put in your application, I would recommend about like a few days later, go back up to the location that you applied at and walk in personally and just be like, may I speak to the manager on duty? And then once you meet with that manager on duty, just be like, hey, my name's Iman. I recently just put in an application and I wanted to just follow up on it. They're probably most likely going to tell you, oh, we're getting to applications and we'll give you a call, once we make it to yours. It shouldn't take over a week for this because that's what they tell everybody. If they're interested in you, they're going to call you back within a week. Hooters is always hiring, you guys. Like Hooters is always hiring. So like, don't fret. Just give it a few days. And if you don't hear back with them in those few days, then I will call back because maybe something slowed down or maybe you just didn't get the job, okay? So after you do get hired, there's going to be like a few things to expect. So of course, you're going to come in, you're going to sign the paperwork, you're going to give them, of course, like the information for your bank. And you're also going to try on your uniforms. This is the black uniform. Usually the girls wear this on Fridays, but I'm a bartender, so this is like my 24/7 uniform. We also have the usual original orange and white uniform, which you wear every day except for Tuesdays, which is Military Tuesday. We have like a military top. And like I said, Fridays, and that's when we wear black, okay? And so on your first day of training, you're going to meet with your trainer, and you're probably going to start off your shift doing a few modules on the computer and learning like menu items. After that, you're going to just shadow you're going to basically just shadow your trainer, and like basically you're going to watch her and see the steps of service that she takes with each customer. And you want to pay attention to this because after you're done training, you're basically going to mimic all of this, okay? And you guys, forgive me. I have not trained on the floor in so long because I've been behind the bar, but I want to say that training is about 5 days. I don't think it's 7. I think it's 5 days. And basically, you're going to work a few morning shifts and you're going to work a few night shifts. And the purposes of that is basically just to teach you how to open the restaurant, like cut lemons. Sometimes at different locations, the staff guy doesn't take the chairs down. So you take down the chairs, you set up your wait stations, bring your cups, make tea, make sweet tea, you know, things of that nature. And then you're going to work a few night shifts so that you can learn how to shut down the restaurant. Shutting down the restaurant, you're going to like restock for the morning shift. You're going to break down the wait stations. You're going to like refill your salt and your sugar, your salts, your sugars, you guys. You know what, I'm going to say that for later, but your salt, your sugar shakers, and you're also clean like all your condiments on the table. It's usually your head wait will basically assign a specific task for you, and the head wait is usually like the head Hooter Girl with the head section, and she's just like over everyone and like a miniature manager kind of, you know what I mean? So on the last few days of training, you're going to get the opportunity to be the Hooter Girl, and your trainer is now going to shadow you. She's going to allow you to greet the tables and like take care of the tables. You're basically going to be doing everything that she did. And you're going to end up taking like tests at the end of every night or at the end of every shift to basically like test you on like what you learned that day. Like you're going to learn the steps of service. You're going to learn about like alcohol beverages, over serving alcohol, all things like that. Don't worry. You're going to be prepared. Okay. So I think that's all for what to expect. Oh, one thing, you guys, and don't get upset about it, but I can't say that because I personally got upset. But when you're training, I know you see like all that tip money that your trainer is getting. You don't get to keep any of it, okay? But you will be getting paid $7.25 minimum wage, okay? Like we all went through it. When I was being trained for bartending, I got trained to be a bartender after like my 3rd or 4th year at Hooters, and I was already in the swing of like waitressing and stuff. But when we got tipped, my trainer got to keep all that money. And we made so much money. I didn't get to keep any of it. So don't get upset. We all go through the same thing, okay? All right, you guys. So the next part I'm going to cover is rules. It's like, with this segment, like, where do I start? So actually, if you're thinking about applying to Hooters, now is like the perfect time because so many rules have changed. I'm going to start with the rules that have changed. So at Hooters before, oh man, the biggest thing for me was just like you always had to have like a hot tool applied to your hair. And like for women of color, for black girls, like this is such a big thing for us, you know what I mean? Especially now, like now braids are getting really popular. And before, somebody's like going by on a skateboard. Excuse me. So it's like now, threw me off. Okay, so this was really difficult because a lot of times I would go on vacation and I would have to get like some cheap like cornrows because I'm like, I want to braid my hair up so I can get in the water, but I don't want to spend a lot of money because when I get back to work, I'm gonna have to take my hair out. Now, you guys, the tea, sis, oh my goodness. So now it's like there was like this law that was passed, like the Hair Discrimination Act, which is really awesome. It now allows us to wear our hair any way we want. I'm telling y'all, as soon as they passed this, all the black girls at my store went and got their hair braided. I went and got faux locks, and y'all, I wore them things for 4 months, okay? Like, no games. I'm so thankful for that. And another big thing shortly after that, before, when you wore nails, you could only have French tip or like nude or like light pink, you know what I mean? And like all my friends would call me grandma because I always had the French tip, but now I kind of like them because it looks kind of classy. But now you can wear like your nails like anyway. You can have, the only thing is it has to be a solid color. You can't have designs, you can't have rhinestones, and they're kind of like, if it's a color that you have to wonder if you can get away with it, you probably shouldn't do it. And I feel like they mean like neons, you know, like loud purples, loud oranges, things of that nature. What's another rule? Oh man, how could I forget? So you guys, like, I'm like, my ears are like iced out. Like, I love piercings. I have no tattoos, but I have lots of piercings. And you can only have one set of earrings in your ear. So I got in trouble a lot of times for that. I remember when I was I had to go to a training class to become a trainer, and I passed the test, but I couldn't get my earring out my ear of my tragus. That's my tragus, right? Well, I couldn't get my earring out. And I remember the lady over the class was like, if you can't get the earring out your ear, you cannot continue this class. And I was just like, like, they're pretty serious about that. Oh, and usually, yeah, no nose rings, no necklaces, no bracelets, no rings. You can only have your ring finger on. So a lot of times when I go to work, I just take off my rings and my earrings and I put them in my bra because I've lost so much jewelry, you know, having to take it off. Your bra is going to be your best friend. Just put it in there. Same thing with tattoos. You have to cover up tattoos. I've never had that issue, but a lot of the girls like get like, you know, makeup covering and they just cover up their tattoos. A lot of like a part of the rules at the beginning, like of every shift you have, is this thing called jump start, and you'll have it, like I said, at the beginning of every shift. And basically the manager will tell you all the things that are going on within the shift. Like, it might be football. They'll be like, oh, the football comes on at 6, be prepared, you know, have your tables wiped down, you know, or alcohol, we're out of this liquor, we're out of onion rings, you know, things to keep in mind for the shift. And also, Hooters is really big about image. You'll line up, your manager will come down in a row. They'll look at your front, make sure, you know, your shirt's not cracking, make sure your hair looks nice, your earrings are what they're supposed to be. You know, you'll show them your hands, show them your nails, your no rings. You'll turn around. They'll look at your pantyhose. They'll make sure that your shorts aren't riding up your crack. You know what I'm saying? They'll check your shoes, make sure your shoes are clean. Hooters is really big on image. And if you have a problem with this, then this is not the job for you, girl. You even sign like something for this when you get hired, because at Hooters, not only are we waitresses, but we're entertainers. When you get hired, you'll realize you take pictures so often. People always like, can I take a picture? Take a picture. And you're basically like, you represent the company. So you always have to be picture perfect, as they call it. All right? So that's it for the rules. Ooh, I think this part is my favorite, minus the money part. But I'm going to go over like the benefits / the pros and the cons right now. So, excuse me, the benefits and the pros are kind of go hand in hand. So the first one, I like wrote it down so I could remember. Number one, I'll start off with like Hooters like has like is really well maintained with their flexibility. Like, I've been working at Hooters my entire undergrad, and I'm currently about to start working on my master's. And like, I've only worked at Hooters on the weekends. It's like, if they usually abide by your scheduling, you know what I mean? And if you need a shift picked up, you just find someone to pick up that shift for you. And as long as you got that done, you're covered on that shift. You know what I mean? And like, my biggest thing, like with the flexible scheduling, like I only wanted to work weekends because, you know, for my girls in school, it's so stressful when you have like a paper or like a test coming up that night, and you might be scheduled that day, you know, at work, and you're like, man, I have a test, I need to study, but you don't even get off till 12. You know what I mean? I didn't even want to go through that. And oh, one really good thing, speaking of students, is at Hooters, the best thing I think that they offer is tuition reimbursement. Woo! Oh my goodness, y'all. I'm so passionate about tuition reimbursement. It's basically like, you know how your parents will give you $10 for an A, $5 for a B, and like 0 for a C or whatever. Hooters does the same thing. As long as you get your grades into them by the deadline, girl, I'm telling you, this check comes on time. Like, you know, they do it each semester. Even if you're in school, I don't know if you're in school during summer semester if they do it, but definitely, you know, fall and spring. And let me tell you, girl, I remember one time, I think I had like 2 A's and 2 B's, and like it takes like 20 days or so to get your check. Yo, my check was like $420. Like, that is free money. You know what I mean? Like, that they just give you for doing a good job. It's like a great incentive, like if you're a student and you work at Hooters. Okay, so another pro and benefit is Hooters usually has, well, they do, but except for this year, the 2020, because of Corona, they have the swimsuit competition / the Hooters calendar. Ah! And the only thing you need to compete is to just, you know, be an employee at Hooters. And I would say, like, I'm pretty passionate about this. Like, you know, I've worked in every position at Hooters. I've been a hostess, I've been a Hooter Girl, I've been a Hooter Girl trainer, I've been a bartender, and I've recently been in the calendar 2 times in a row. But it didn't come easy, you guys. But I would definitely encourage you, like, do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you have to lose? I applied every year that I worked for Hooters, and I didn't even get into the calendar until like my 6th year working at Hooters. But let me just tell you, I want to just like spread a little inspiration. Like, I did the swimsuit competition every year, and there would be a lot of times that I didn't place, but the more often I did it, I started realizing like I was placing like top 10, top 6. And recently I actually got to go to regionals, which was, oh, that was so awesome, you guys. Like, but I really do it for us. Like, I realized that there weren't a lot of Black girls that competed in these swimsuit competitions. And I realized why, because I went through it myself. It's just like, you look out in the crowd and you look at like how can you say it? You know who your customers are, you know what I mean? And you just feel like you don't really have a chance in winning. But despite that, I wanted everyone in that crowd to see, like, I'm about to do my thing, and I'm about to show you that I could be here just as much as Kelly and Michelle and Sarah. Slick sound like Destiny's Child. But you know what I'm saying? Like, don't ever, like, stand your ground, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was really proud of myself for that. And here's my stash back here, you guys, for the calendar. Wait, I know this has nothing to do with it, but this is like my mug from this year, and I actually have my picture hanging up in my room because I'm that proud of myself. Like, y'all, this is a long time coming. I'm telling you, like, when I got my call back, I cried because it was really that important to me. Like, it was really difficult for me to get into the calendar. And like, I feel like when things are difficult for you and they're not just handed to you, that's when you appreciate them the most. Okay. So was that all my, oh, sorry, I got off track, but let's keep going. These are good pros. At Hooters, it's easy to level up. Like I mentioned, like, I have been everything. Like, I've been a Hooter Girl, I've been a hostess, I've been a trainer, and I've been a bartender. You know, I've placed top 10, top 3. I went to regionals. I've been in the Hooter calendar twice. Like, as long as you, like, work hard in the company, you're bubbly, like, you're energetic, like, girl, you will make it, okay? If this sounds like you need to go ahead and put your application in, girl. Like, I know in a lot of places it's hard to like level up, but like Hooters is one of those places like where you will be recognized, okay? So yeah, that's pretty much it for my pros. Let's get into these cons. All right, so these cons. But to be honest, I really don't have that many cons, y'all. Like, I feel like some of the cons I mentioned already, like in the rules, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're heavy on image. You know, you can't really express yourself with your nails, your earrings. For me, like, that was a big con. Jewelry, your nails, I think I mentioned that already. But like a con that like a lot of people at like competing restaurants with Hooters will tell me is that like, our staff guys do not do as much as like these other restaurants. Like, sis, the work is on you, okay? All our staff guys do is basically like if there's like a spill, they'll clean that up for you, but they'll do the dishes and they'll do the trash can. But other than that, like you have to clean your own table. You have to bust your table. You have to sweep up your section. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then if you work morning shift, a lot of the times at my location, our staff guy always leaves at like 1 o'clock on morning shifts. You know what I mean? So like as soon as he leaves, people are still coming in and eating. So you and your little team of Hooter girls on the floor, y'all gotta wash dishes. You know what I'm saying? So like these are really minor cons. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, just waitressing and bartending in general has its cons sometimes, you know? So we're going to jump into that when we get into money. So let's go ahead and jump into money. All right. I'm pretty sure like everybody skipped to this part. The money. So I'm going to try to be as in-depth as possible, but like money can just range so much. It can range as in the days that you decide to work. So let me just tell y'all the hot days of work. Monday evenings. Well, I think it's all day on Mondays now. Mondays is all you can eat, a hot day. Wednesdays is all you can eat, boneless wings day platters. That's a pretty hot day. Friday is hot just because it's Friday. And you know, this all depends on like seasons too. You know, football seasons. Oh, Thursday night is pretty hot. Thursday night football. Saturday mornings are hot because of college football. Oh yeah, people come out for that college football. Sundays, morning or nights, you know what I mean? But me personally, like I said, y'all, I worked only on weekdays. This is how my schedule was. So, not as a bartender, as a Hooter girl. So I can tell y'all for that, okay? So on weekends, I worked a double on Friday. So I worked a morning and night shift because I didn't have school. A double on Friday. I worked Saturday morning for Saturday morning football, for college football. And I worked Sunday morning. And y'all, I had a townhome with a roommate, of course. But we had a 3-bedroom townhome. I had my car note, phone bill, water bill, all of that. And I was still able to pay it all working as a Hooter girl on weekends. Now, when I would work a double, working a double on Friday, like, could be good money because a lot of people come out, for lunch, usually throughout the weekday, but usually Friday, a lot of people come out for lunch on Fridays. So I would make a lot of my money then, but then like a lot of the girls get cut when it gets slow. But because you're a double, you have to stay on the floor. Sis, that's when you're making your money. You want to hurry up and try to make your money before the night shift girls come on the floor. So let's say on a Friday, I would make like anywhere between like $150 to $220, okay, on a double. Saturday morning, which is like 11 till 4:30, because that's the way morning shift is, from 11 to 4:30, I could make like $150, $175, okay? And on Sunday mornings, like I said, same thing, 11 to 4:30, about $150. So you do the math, because I'm not right now. You know what I mean? And like when you get regulars, like regulars are awesome because they really like, they might require a little bit more time. Like they sit at your table and they want you to actually sit and talk with you, even though you're busy, but make that time for them, because instead of getting that $7 tip, they might usually end up leaving you $20. And I have regulars leave me money and like ask me if I'm hungry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna pass up on no food. Even if I can't eat it, then I'll just like put it in a to-go box. You know what I mean? So yeah, you know what I mean? Like on a regular day on the floor, it could range. But I'm gonna tell you this. This is really like when you become a Hooter girl, just the floor is is your show, okay? This is your show. That's how you need to act. Like, not like in a bougie, like sadiddy way, but just like, a lot of people like at my bar are like, yo, you make this seem so easy. And I'm like, cause I'm literally being me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm literally just being me. And people think it's so funny. It's so entertaining. It's just because like this, my bar is my stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, all eyes on me. Like, and that's the way I like it. You need to like, when you get your table, just act like it's your show. You don't want them looking at another Hooter Girl's table like, damn, I wish I got her instead. Nah, none of my tables ever gonna leave my table saying that. Nah, no. It's your stage, girl. Like, rock your show. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I go to my tables, I'm like, hey guys, how's it going? What can I get you guys started to drink? You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong. Like, I do get like I really get annoyed sometimes because sometimes people come into Hooters and they have an attitude off the rip. And I'm like, first of all, you could have gone to Chipotle, McDonald's, Panda Express, anywhere here that you don't have to tip people, okay? And that's another thing. Like, you'll bust your butt and people will still leave you that minimum $5 tip. Like, I'm a waitress, so I've learned how to tip. If a waitress does her job and she busts her butt, show her that you appreciated that. You know what I'm saying? You leave me $3 and like your tab is like $50, and like I went above and beyond to make your experience like a great one. Show me that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when people ask about the pay, I would say, like, I worked in retail. I worked at Hollister and Abercrombie. Retail is not the move, sis. Like, you can make a lot of money waitressing. So, the pay is good. Even if you're like a sucky waitress, like, I guess the pay is still going to be good enough for you. You get in what you put out. Oh, wait. You get in, you get out. Y'all know what I'm trying to say, okay? Like, so I feel like I covered everything pretty much, like pros, cons, what to expect, like, yes, like if I didn't cover anything or if there's anything else that you guys want to know, like please leave a comment in the comments, like give me a thumbs up if this video helped you at all. Like, I'm real passionate about this, you guys, so I really want to help you guys anywhere I can. So go ahead and leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. New YouTuber here, okay? And I'll see you guys next video. Thanks so much for stopping by. See you guys.